which essentially first downs equate to points on the field. This here, you can see the layout: pass, run chart, the X-play chart, the other sundry stuff. I'm using the fact deck. The game was originally designed with cards. I like them. We have Los Angeles visiting Memphis. This is two of the better teams in my AGL, American GridZone League. So without further ado, let's play a game. Memphis, being the home team, starts with the ball in the 0 zone or the O zone. They flip a pass play, so they're definitely going with a pass. Makes sense for them. Pass defense. Los Angeles is not surprised by this. The key player is a choice for the offense. So of course we will choose Xander Sykes, their star receiver. He adds 2 for his pass rating to a 9, so it's an 11 on the pass chart. Is Stu Slayton, the quarterback, rated a 2 or better at passing? He is. So this has completed 4 points downfield. Boom! So they just get a big chunk of territory right there with a completion deep to Xander Sykes. And now the game is on. Next, it's going to be an X play versus a run defensive set. XR. It's going to be this chart. The defense gets to choose their player, so they choose their best run defender. And let's go with the elite Ron Chandler. 10 is the play, -2 makes it an 8. And Ron Chandler gets a little pressure on this, but Stu Slayton gets the pass off. It's a wobbly pass, caught for 2 points. And I'll give that pass to Bryson Trahan. So they're 6 points upfield now on their second series. Let's go to the third series of this possession. Memphis mixing it up. They call a run. Defense calls a pass. Run pass will be on this chart. B on the offensive side is Caleb Richards. He adds 2 for his run blocking. 2 plus 2 is a 4, so it's not that great of a play. Is the runner a 1 plus? The default runner for these guys is Xander Sykes, and he is rated a 2. So he manages to eke out 1 point on that. Otherwise, he would have been stopped. But Xander Sykes picks up a point. So they now have 7 points on the board. And they go to their 4th series of this drive. Another run play. How about that? Versus run. So Los Angeles is expecting it. However, it's well executed against the defensive star. So -2 off of a 12 makes 10. Run, 10. And let's see. I'm going to roll this time to see who the runner is. And it's Sykes again. He is rated 2 as a runner. And he makes a spin move and picks up 2 points, getting past linebacker Jim Herron downfield there. So 1-2 gets them all the way up. They're on the verge of capping this off with a touchdown. That's another 2 points for Sykes. So Los Angeles hasn't even gotten a single stop on them yet. They've been close, but not quite. All right, pass or X. The offense has a choice here. They're going to go with X versus X. So this is a rather violent X versus X matchup. This is the chart. Offense gets a choice. And you know what? We have to go to Xander Sykes again because he is also their highest rated X player. So you want to have him involved. 5 plus 2 makes 7. No gain on this play. Sykes gets the ball, handed off in the backfield. He runs and is hit and he is stunned. So he gets stopped before gaining a zone on that. And Who can we assign this to? I'm going to give that to Matt Bowen, who's rated as a 2. So player C on the defensive side for LA gets credit for the stop. And where's my stun marker? So I'm going to mark Xander Sykes as stunned. That means all his ratings are temporarily 0 for the remainder of this drive. All right, well, can they finish this or not? Let's find out. Run, pass. That bodes well. It's a mismatch. Here's the run pass chart. The defensive All-Pro is going to subtract 2. 11 minus 2 is a 9. I think we're going to have a touchdown. Indeed, we do. And we are going to hand that ball off. Actually, Stu Sladen's going to carry that in himself. So it's a 1-point touchdown carried in by Sladen. And Memphis has gone the distance. A full 10 points they gain on the opening drive. Let's see what Los Angeles can do. So I take them to the other end, start them in the O zone, and head back the other way. X or run. I'm saying X versus pass. Choice defender. Preston Lamb, linebacker, subtracts 2. The roll is 2, so it's reduced to 0 on an XP play. X and P, 0. And Preston Lamb gets back and intercepts the ball. That immediately ends the drive. There's nowhere to return it to since they're already in the 0 zone. So that is quickly that. And Memphis will regain possession. Now, down here, I'm going to say that the elite made the stop, and I'm going to give him 2 points. I call those impact points for an interception. The reason I give 2 is because that counts as 2 stops. That's in this particular case. So Los Angeles is held to nothing. Now, if Memphis can mount a big drive here, they'll really be in control of the game. Let's see what happens. Run X is the matchup. Defensive elite, -2. Run X5 is the adjusted amount. Is the runner rated 2? Xander Sykes, who is healthy again at this point. Yes, he is. He gains a point. Boom. All right, and we keep going. Double X matchup over here. The offensive star, Xander Sykes again. He has been heavily featured in this match, in this game so far. 6 plus 2 is 8. And another 1-point gain, a wicked block he gets this time by his offensive line. And a defender is stunned. So we're going to stun a random defender in this case. I roll the dice and I look on this random player chart for player C. Matt Bowen gets flattened on that play. And Xander Sykes picks up another point. They now lead 12-0. All right, their third series. Can they keep it rolling? X. We're going to go with an X play versus pass. X pass. Right here. All Pro on the offensive side. +1. 10 plus 1 makes 11. And so Stu Sladen, under pressure, rolls out and completes a long pass downfield. And let's throw that to his choice. Let's hit Bruce Tiller for those 5 points. All the way up the ladder to the 7 zone, or zone 7. All right, it is now 17-0, and LA is yet to even make a stop. Well, that's not true. They did make a stop on the first possession. All right, X or run is the choice, and I will go with X again. Run. The offensive star. Xander Sykes adds 2. 12 plus 2 is 14. On the XR chart. That is going to go the rest of the way, isn't it? Yep. So here is a perfectly placed pass. Sykes has got it in the end zone. Touchdown. That's a 3-pointer to finish things off. His second touchdown, no, his first touchdown. I forgot. Slayton ran for the first one. So already Memphis is up 20-0 on Los Angeles. Things have not gone their way here. They've had very little of the ball, haven't they? Let's see what they can do. Maybe they can turn it around. Speaking of turning around, I turn my marker around and head the other direction. LA with the ball. They are going to settle things down with a run versus pass. Coleman Quinn will be running the ball, I bet, but the offensive A, that's an offensive lineman, Paul Sheehan, adds +1 to the roll. 9 plus 1 is 10. And had the runner been rated a 3, it'd be a touchdown, but otherwise, Coleman Quinn with a 2, he can gain 4 points on that. So he makes it halfway up the field, almost to midfield on that. Quinn with 4 points, it is now 20-4. Run or pass? They're going to pass versus X. See if we can hit a big one here. Pass X, the defensive All-Pro, is going to subtract 2 with an adjusted 4. Pass X 4. The quarterback, Jason Malone, he's flushed out. He scrambles and he is stopped for no gain. And Terrell Cook, the All-Pro for Memphis, gets credit for the stop. So I put the stop marker on the field. No penalties so far in this thing. That's interesting. All right, the play matchup is XX. Defensive elite, -2. 3 minus 2 is 1. So here is Malone. Throws a short pass complete for a point. But there's a big hit by Preston Lamb and a fumble. And let's roll to see who recovers this. 1 is odd. Actually, it doesn't matter. We've got a fumble chart here. So 1 is the offense recovers, and they can advance the ball. Player 10 is C, so Hugh Greeley gets over there to scoop up the fumble. He's a receiver, so maybe he can run it. With a 9. And he gets a 2-point gain on the fumble recovery. So this turns into a 1 plus 2 for the return. A total 3-point gain. One of those points goes to, you know what, I'll give that to Greeley. Well, let's say he recovers his own fumble. There we go. So that gets him into zone 6. The drive is still alive. Pass X. Pass versus X. So pass X. This is the chart. The defensive star is in the mix here. Jeremiah Irbe subtracts 2 and makes it a 3. Oof. This ball's deflected. Let's see what happens. It's up in the air. Does anybody get it? Someone does. Indeed, it's intercepted. I'm going to roll a random player. 6. So it falls into the hands of defensive lineman Roland Graves. How about that? And let's see if he can do anything with it. All right, intercepted. The roll is 7. I think he gets a 1-point return on that. So they were into zone 6. That he runs it back into zone 5. -1 on the return. right, so there we go. That's what Los Angeles settles for. The score is 20-5. Memphis gets the ball back again. All right. Making some notes here. A on the return, elite on the play. And now we give the ball back to Memphis. Ready. Pass or X. They are a passing team. Ooh, versus run. They might hit a big one here. Offensive player D. Keenan Harris adds 2 to this play for his pass blocking. It's not well executed though, so it's only a 3. Pass run 3. And a defender gets a hand on it, knocks it down. We'll say that was intended for Bryson Trahan, therefore. Opposite of him is Logan Walls, who gets credit for the stop. Okay, well that is exactly what LA needed. They needed somebody to make a defensive play there. Now, can they do it again and get the ball back? All right, Memphis, let's pass again. Versus X. Pass, X. Offensive elite. +2. Here's Trahan again. Going back to the same well here. So 6 + 2 is 8 on the pass X chart. And is the quarterback rated X1 or better? He is. So it's complete for 3 points to Trahan. His second reception of the game. 23-5 is the current score. And we are going to go to their third series of this possession. X. Pass. Here's our chart. The offensive star is going to add 2. X pass, and the die comes up with a 4 + 2 is 6. And Xander Sykes takes it in the backfield this time, and he picks up a 2-point gain. And let's say he jukes somebody who goes down on the field. And it says defender stunned, so we've got to stun a random defender here. Who gets juked out of their shoes? Player B. Lou Garner at the line of scrimmage. Right there in the middle of the offensive line. So, 2 more points for LA. 25-5. They've reestablished their 20-point lead. It's time to flip the deck. I rotate it 180 and keep going. Pass is my from a choice versus pass and no choice. And speaking of choice, it's the offensive choice. So let's go to Bruce Tiller again. Oh, 12 + 2 is 14 on a pass chart. That's big. Yeah, he goes deep downfield. This is a minimum of 5, so I roll a d6 + 5 is 8. That will get them. There's not that many. There's not that much field left. So it is going to be a 5-point completion to Tiller. And another touchdown, their third consecutive time they've gone the length of the field. It's a dominating 30-5 lead for Memphis. This is kind of embarrassing. LA has been a pretty good team this season, but today's not their day. All right, let's see if they can get into this thing. Remove the stop marker, the play marker, the ball marker is going the other direction. Here we go. Pass for LA versus run. Defensive choice. Let's go back to Jeremiah Irby. 5 - 2 is a 3. Pass run. Incomplete. Defender knocks it down. Irby makes the play. 0. And that is player S, the star on the Memphis side. Put the stop marker on the field. All right, LA. You better get something going here. Let's go with an X play on the choice. Pass is the defense. X pass. Here's our chart. Offensive star. +2 for Wilson Lamb. 9 makes him 11. And Wilson Lamb gets free downfield, caught for 5 points. How about it? And there's Lamb's first catch of the game. He's a stud receiver. It's about time he got involved. All right, one stop on the field. Half the field is behind him. And we keep going. They're going to run it. Oh, and I guessed wrong. Run on run. Memphis saw this coming. Coleman Quinn is going to have the ball. 10. The key player, however, is linebacker Chiquillo here, who's going to subtract 1 and make it a 9 on the run chart. Is the runner rated a 1+? He is. So he gains 1 point up the middle, just barely. He was able to bull over Chiquillo and get across the line there. So Quinn, with his second substantial gain of the game. And we are coming up on crunch time. One more series left to go here. Pass. X. Here's our chart. Offensive choice is going to be Wilson Lamb at +3. Told you he was a stud receiver. 10 + 3 makes 13. And, ooh, that is a D6 + 5. 5. Well, you know what? I didn't have to even roll, did I? Because there wasn't even 5 points left. And so Lamb will catch that for the remaining 4 points on the field. And that is their first touchdown of the game. They've cut the lead down to 15. It is 30-15 at the moment. And boy, they need their defense to step up right now because Memphis gets the ball and we have now entered crunch time. Now, on crunch time, you convert plays to these calls based on the situation. In this case, Memphis has a big 15-point lead, and therefore they will be on this green tied or leading chart. And since they're in crunch time, they're in a ball control offense, so they've only got to run a couple series to run out the clock. Let's see what happens. So I'll go ahead and flip the fact. I get a 6 versus a 4. That is X versus X. So it's an XX matchup on the conversion chart. Over here. And the key player is defender A, who does nothing. You cannot modify the result, so it's a 6. Run play, no gain, stops short, so Ross Olson here on the defensive line makes the play for LA. So that was good. Here we go. Correct, fixing my field here. It's Memphis going in that direction, and now there's a stop marker on the field. All right, this could be the last series of the game right here, unless LA can do something. Even then, they won't threaten, but maybe they can. I don't know. If it ends on a penalty, we play another play, so it's pretty much over. 1 versus 4. On the leading chart, 1-4 is a run versus X. So Memphis running, the defense is X. The key player is a defensive choice. And let's go with Jim Herron, their captain of their defense, linebacker. The adjusted roll is at 6 on a run X. All right, is the runner rated 1 or better? He is. 1 point gain. And that is it. So being very conservative on that final series, they eke out 1 more point. And that makes the final score Memphis 31, Los Angeles 15. Well, I was hoping for a better game. Closer game anyway, but there you go. That's how GridZone works.